Good morning everybody, I hope you're all doing very well. My name's Greg, this is GH Creates. For those of you that have been following along so far, welcome back, and for those of you that are new to watching, welcome to the channel. Right, well, January's just around the corner, which means February is on its way, Valentine's Day. So today's project is going to be to try and turn this 3-inch piece of maple, it's 3 by 2 by 2, into a ring slash jewellery box. I'm going to be making this for my missus, but I might make a few others to sell if it comes out how I want it to come out. So join me in a minute and we're going to make some measurements and start getting this cut. Okay, so with our maple, what I want to try and do, pick a nice face side, so it's going to sit like that. I want to pick a nice bit for the lid. I might choose this bit for the lid, so I'm just going to write lid there because I quite like how that grain is, and I think that would be quite nice for the side of the box. I don't know if you can see that. So now what I want to do, we're going to come in 2 centimeters, make that mark, and then square it up. Perfect. Now join me at the bandsaw and we'll get this separated. Okay, so we're going to start by lining our mark up with the bandsaw blade like so, and then making sure I've got a 3mm gap there between the wood and the top of the spindles. We're going to just run the bandsaw a little bit. Okay, so now we've used the bandsaw to separate the lid from the base of the box. What we want to do is find these marks. I can show you how it was originally, like so, and then we're going to pick what we want to be the front of the box and the back of the box. Now I quite like this side to be the front, so what I'm going to do, find my pencil and I'm just going to write front on each. Okay, so it looks like, hopefully you can see something like that. You might not be able to see it. There you go. And now we know that this is going to be the front, this is going to be the lid. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my marking gauge, get my rule, and I'm just going to set it to 1 centimetre, like so. Lock that down, and then I'm just going to go around each side and just make that mark. Okay. No, you probably won't be able to see that, you might be able to, but if I highlight the corners, cool, I can just about see that, to be honest. Like that. So here, here, here and here. And now what we're going to do, highlight each of those. You don't have to do this, I'm just doing this for the purpose of this video, just so you guys can see. Now I'm going to remove that grid with a 30mm Forstner bit, and I'm going to remove all of this waste inside. Okay, so I'll do that quickly. Right, now before I start, what I want to do is just sort of set a depth for my Forstner bit. And the way I'm going to do that is with a Sharpie, and I'm just going to sort of find out how far down I want to go, and I'm just going to make that mark there, roughly on either side. Try and hold the Forstner bit upright if you can. So as you can see, marks just here. Then I'm going to get myself a little bit of blue tape, and I'm just going to go around that mark like so, and hopefully now we should be able to go down to the same depth. So we're just going to mark this out. You can take your time with it. Which we can see they are. And now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring it back. I'm going to use a chisel to remove these pieces here and just clean it up and tidy it up. Okay, so now we've got our piece of maple. What I'm going to do, I'll just put it up against the edge of my workbench. I'm just going to clamp it down like so. Hopefully you can still see it. Get that nice and tight like that. And then what I'm going to do is just peel away at this, like so. And we're just going to take that waste out. And what we're trying to do is line up the curves so it's nice and flat across there. And we'll just use a smaller chisel just to remove these little pieces and make sure we're at the right depth, like that. So I need to take a little bit more out of there, like that. I'll probably go down just a little bit more. Again, I'm going to come in with the smaller chisel now and just peel that what I've done away. And I'll flip my piece around and do the same again. Okay, so this is what we're left with. Now you'll notice I've come over a little bit past my line there, which has left me a little bit excess here. I'm not worried about that because I have a little plan to rounding this outside edge over. But as you can see, we've chiseled away, we've made our mark nice and flat. So I'm just going to go in with a smaller chisel now, and I'm just going to try and get in right in that edge and just take off some of that harsh bits in there. And I mean, if you've got a drum sander, you can do this, but I don't. So I've got to chisel into these corners and these edges. But what I do have, which is what we're going to use now, I have a little cylinder sander. Sorry about my hand getting in the way there. I got a little Draper set of these, and they've come in so handy. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to sand all of that nice and smooth. And why I love these little cylinder sanders is because they just plop into your drill, like, whoop, if I get it level, like that. We lock that down, and that's it. That becomes your drum sander. And what that does is it just allows you to clean up the edge a little bit there. So it allows you to get right into these corners and make these rounds nice and smooth. Now I've got these in 3 different sizes. I've got them in 60, 80, 120 grip. I think there might be one other in there. We'll save that for another day. So yeah, I'm just going to go around, smooth it all over, and I'll show you the next bit. Okay, so while I was sanding this round to get it nice and smooth around there, I just used the cylinder sander to go over the lip, just to take that harsh lip off of there and make it a little bit more appealing on the eye as well. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get all of this sanded down, lid included, probably to 180, and I'll see how that looks, and then we'll get the final shape done. I don't know if I'm going to choose to do the final shape, but I think it might look a little bit better than how square it is now. Okay, so I've sanded down the lid and the base to 180, and now I'm going to try and rectify the gap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to measure where that starts, which is about 1/4 inch. So now I'm going to go in, and I'm going to try and measure 1/4 inch. Maybe I'm not, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. What I might do, I've got a lid here, and what I want to do is make it so it's oval, a bit like a headphone case. So I think that'll work really well. Yeah, it's 5 centimeters. So 5 centimeters in from the edge, from the end. Sorry. Get my pencil, and I'm just gonna measure 5 centimeters. That's 5 centimeters. Sorry, 5 millimeters. I don't know what I'm talking about. Which is about there. So I'm gonna make that mark to there. So we got like that, and then I'm going to use this lid, and I'm going to go up to that mark, and I'm just going to make these curves around there, and again on this side I'm going to make that curve on there. I'll just follow that lid, so this will come off and this will come off. Okay, so all of this will go, and we'll be left with this. So I'm going to do that at the bandsaw quickly, and then I'm going to sand it down. So I'll join you in a minute. Okay, so now I've got like an oval shape that I was kind of looking for. I'm going to transfer that to the lid, like so. Sorry, and then yeah, I'll get it clamped down. We'll get it all sanded nice and flush. Okay. Okay, so I've just put those curves on it, like you see, so we've got like a sort of nice little oval shape here. And now, yeah, that's sort of what I was going for. I've just sanded this down just to smooth the edges round with 60, and now I'm going to take it all the way up to 180 again, just to give it a nice light sanding. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some of this felt which I picked up from Hobbycraft. I mean, you could probably get it on Amazon as well. More than likely you can get anything on Amazon. But I'm going to cut out the insert in there, and I'm going to glue that in, and that's what's going to give a nice little colour. I might put it around the sides as well if I can, but we'll see what happens. So join me in a minute when I finish sanding, and we'll try and get this finished. Okay, so I've taken this all down to 120 at the moment, and I'll finish it with 180 a bit later. But now what I want to try and do is get a little hinge attached to it. So I want to find the front and the back. So this is going to be my front, and on the back what I'm going to do is find my halfway, which is obviously 1.5 because we're working with 3 inches. I'm just going to roughly mark this out to 1.5 inches, which is about there. Square that up. Okay. Now I got this hardware off of Amazon. It was just a little package. I can't remember how much it cost me now. Had it a little while. and they're actually really good brackets. So what I'm going to do is plonk that on there like so. Now we're nice and smooth, and eyeball roughly halfway. I'm just going to make this mark here. Now you want to take your time doing this. Unlike me, a bit of bull in a china shoppy. And I'm just going to punch these out like so. I just want to start the hole. I don't want to drill the hole as such, so I'm just going to use the brad point itself just to get the hole started, because the screws are very, very small. So literally just using the point of that brad. These screws are very, very small, and it is very, very cold. Shaky hands. Wait for them out. I'm sorry if you can hear me breathing, by the way. I've got some lovely new microphones that my fiance brought me for doing this, because she's amazing and they pick up things really, really well. And it has been frightfully cold here. I don't want to put these down too tight just yet. I just want to get them just fitted, so it gives us room to adjust if we need to. Okay. Right, so now we got that, I'm just going to take that pencil mark off of there quickly. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And now what I do have is to screw that last screw down a little bit more, I think. Amazing. I've also got some of these magnets. Now these are earth magnets. I picked these up off of Amazon as well. I think these cost me about £11 at the time. And I want to try and get a couple of these installed as well, just to hold it at the front. I believe last time I did this that they were 4mm. Maybe not. It might be 5. Yeah, 5mm. Yeah, lovely. So I'm just going to mark centre on these, just to where I want them, which I think was roughly there, wasn't it? And then on the inside I want to come in there. So I'll mark that across half a centre. Then I'm going to come in and mark my lid in across half a centre. About there. Way up. Bit hungry. And then I'm just going to lightly make sure these are lined up, which they are. Perfect. Put a light pencil mark across there. And we'll spin that around and do the same thing there. So I just want to make those holes deep enough, just deep enough for the magnets. I might have to put a little bit more into this bit. Oh, perfect. Amazing. And then what we'll do, I'm just going to use the magnets just to pull them out, so we get a nice seal on them, which we do. And then I'm just going to secure these with a little bit of my CA glue. Oh, this is the old one. That's why that's fucked. Perfect. Brilliant. That's lovely, that. Just let that glue dry. Now the packet that had the hinges in does come with these front pieces, these front hinges and locks and stuff, but I just feel like it would be too much if I was to put that on there as well, and I don't really want to, so I'm not going to. So now what I'm going to do is get my felt, and I've got some scissors, and what I'm going to do is just measure in how big I want it to be. In this case it is 5 centimeters. So I'll get my Sharpie, like so, I'll press down, and I'm just going to colour the outline of where I need it to be, and just do like a little transfer type thing. And then I'm just going to cut out that black transfer, but I'm going to go around the outside of that black line. We'll just do a quick test fit. Lovely. So now I'll take that out and I can get that glued in. I'm just going to super glue this bit just around the edges and a little bit in the middle. Press it down nice and tight. Yeah, it's not going anywhere now. Right, now I'm just going to close the lid like so. We'll go around the outside with a bit of 180, and I might just smooth over these edges just to get rid of this sharp corners on the Harris. I keep saying Harris every time I want to say that. It's an Harris. Alright, and then I'll show you the finished piece. Okay, so ring box all finished. It's come out really nice, come out exactly sort of how I pictured it in my head. I've used the high gloss finish on it, which we've used in the previous videos. Bit of clear lacquer on there, and I've taken it up to 180 grit. You know, there you see the magnets hold it quite nice, and there's that bit of felt that we put in there as well, which I chose that colour because I felt like it goes really well with the maple. There are other colours you can use, but I like that one. I prefer that one, and I've got a funny feeling my missus is going to like that as well. So what I'll do quickly, I'll just take my ring off and lift this, and as you can see, it'll hold 2 rings nicely. Overall, really pleased with that, and as I said, I think my missus will be as well. Lovely. Now I would, while I'm here, like to just take 5 minutes, 5 seconds, just to say a big thank you to my missus. She's an absolutely amazing person. She's an amazing mum, and I just want to let her know she's doing a good job. She edits all my videos for me because I'm rubbish at technology, and she really does make the effort, so hopefully she'll like this and a few of the other projects that I've got planned as well. Right, well, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you've learnt something, or you've got some inspiration and ideas, if I can spit my teeth out, for projects that you can build for Valentine's Day for your significant other, or maybe just someone that you got a crush on or would like to say thank you to, you know. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and a subscribe. You know, it helps me out, helps the channel out, and hit the notification bell, because I've got a nice project lined up which is probably going to be 2 or 3 videos long. Alright, see you next time. Cheers.